Race fans, tomorrow it's opening day at the Spa. And on this episode of Thoroughbred Ticket, I will cover each runner in the traditional opening day feature, the Grade 3 Schuylerville for freshman fillies to be run at 6 furlongs. 9 are scheduled to line up, so let's get started at Saratoga.
Welcome to Thoroughbred Ticket, into the world of thoroughbred horse racing, into a world of inside information and handicapping style geared towards making a winning day at the races worldly possible. And now, here's your host of Thoroughbred Ticket, Mr. Kenneth Anthony Moultrie.
Good afternoon, good evening, race fans, and welcome to Thoroughbred Ticket. I am your host, Kenneth Moultrie, and welcome to Saratoga, Saratoga Springs, New York, 267 Union Avenue, Saratoga Springs, New York. How exciting is it to be at Saratoga? Even exciting, anticipating this fine meet, the finest thoroughbred meet in North America, the best horses, the best jockeys, the best trainers, and the best races. So we are here. It's what we've all been waiting for, and I am looking forward to a great 6 or 7 weeks in upstate New York. Now, myself, I live in California, and I go for Travers Weekend pretty much regularly. I've been to over 25 Travers since 1991, and you know, that's my tradition. That has always been my favorite track. And like I say, I will obviously didn't make it in 2020, but you know, everything seems close back to normal for this particular season. And so we are raring to go, and we will go. Now, I looked at the weather forecast for today, which is Wednesday, and it called for a 24% chance of rain in the Saratoga Springs area and a 9% chance for opening day tomorrow. So I'm not a math wizard, but at 33% chance rain in the 2 days, today and tomorrow, I'm of the cloth that that's such a low percentage. That means that it doesn't mean to me that it's 76% chance that it's going to rain. Something like 24% kind of tells me that it's going to rain a little bit. Now, if it was 90%, to me, I look at the intensity of it and how widespread and how long it lasts. So 24%, we may be able to get through that today. Like I say, I haven't talked to anybody today in upstate to see how the track is, but let's say there's minimal rain today and a slight chance tomorrow, maybe some drizzles here and there. We could be looking at definitely a fast track. As you know, the turf course, both turf courses, the Mellon and the Inner, will take a little longer to dry to become firm. But nevertheless, you know, I'm expecting a fast track for tomorrow, main track, and I'm going to go ahead and do a late pick 5 on another episode here, and it's going to conclude some turf races, obviously, but that's then. And just on this particular episode, I'm only going to do the one race that I mentioned in my opening, which is the Grade 3 Schuylerville. So let's get to it. 9 are scheduled. They're going 6 furlongs. Obviously, it's the traditional Grade 3 Schuylerville, 6 furlong, $150,000 added for 2-year-old fillies. Now, this is a feeder race. If you perform well in this race, or, you know, your connections believe that you have a lot more to offer, you know, you can be entered. Obviously, you can feed into the Grade 2 Adirondack, which is going to be run on August the 8th, and that is at 6.5. And obviously, it's going to lead up to the September 5th Grade 1 Spinaway at 7 furlongs, which is the day before closing day. Now, there is on August 27th There is the non-graded Seeking the Ante, which will be at 6.5 furlongs, but it is for New York breds. And in this particular race coming up here in the Schuylerville, the 4, who I will get to, Velvet Sister, is the only New York bred in this particular field. So out of this particular field, then that filly would be the only filly nominated or actually eligible to run in the Seeking the Ante on August 27th. And that actually will be the day before the Big Travers Day card. So as I said, 9 will run. And start from the rail out is the one horse Pretty Birdie. When I first saw this, I thought it was Proud Birdie. I thought, like, what is Proud Birdie still running these days for? But anyway, it's Pretty Birdie. I'm quite sure there's some relation down the line somewhere from Proud Birdie. But this is a filly owned by Mary Lou Whitney. And, you have to watch Whitney horses, Mary Lou Whitney horses, when they run at Saratoga, when they run for stakes. And obviously most times they do. You got to really watch them. I mean, they're going to obviously bring accolades and good pedigree to the track, but just the stigma of the Whitney at Saratoga, you just almost have to figure any of her runners in any particular race, and this is no exception. But as far as her prowess on the track, she's 1 for 1. She's by Birdsong. She's trained by Norm Cassie and will be written by Louis Saez. Now, there are a couple of things I do not like other than she's trained by she's owned by Mary Lou Whitney. It's a couple of things I do not like about this filly. One is that she has the rail. And the rail is the rail. And a lot of times we all know you have to figure that in your handicapping based upon how your runner breaks. If you have a speed horse, then you kind of a little more leery. If you have a horse who comes from the Silky Sullivan clouds, then you can kind of be a little bit more liberal with your thoughts and say, okay, well, they can just take back. You don't have to really break that sharp. But based on her first effort at Churchill going 5, where she stopped the clock in 57-1, she looks like she has a world of speed. And I think, a lot of 2-year-old, especially 2-year-old fillies, are intimidated down on the inside. And Louis is going to have to be alert himself to keep this filly alert to break smartly from the inside. Based upon her draw, in my opinion, this is pretty much the only chance that she has to win. Now, if she had the 4-hole or the 3-hole or the 5-hole, I'll have a different opinion. But I just think that it's one way for her to go. She has the dreaded rail. She's going to have to outbreak every runner in the field. If she does, she's going to be tough to beat. But that's a big if. Now, the second thing I do not like about her is that she had a very, very slow work on July 9th. That's been since her maiden win, her only win of her career. She had a slow work on the Saratoga training track on the Oklahoma. It was a wet, fast track that day, granted, but she went 52-4, which was 28th of 28 runners who worked that particular distance on that particular day. So I don't know. Like I said, I've said many times before, there are some people fans of works, and some people think it doesn't matter. I am a big fan of works, and I equate that mightily in my handicapping as well as post position. So I'm thinking to myself, ladies and gentlemen, does she have a lot of speed? Does she have, that really top speed, especially coming from the rail? Because that 52 work and, being, a very, very slow work, I'm thinking that, she's going to need all the speed that, she can muster up. If that was a, 4 furlong works, I mean, I know it's on the Oklahoma, But I'm just saying, if that was somewhere like a 50 work or a 49, I can live with that. I would like to see a 47 or a 48, but a 50 or 49 would kind of, lend me to think that, well, that could be just a maintenance work. And, some trainers don't like to, sap the well dry before the race. But like I said many times before as well, I know you're all probably tired of me saying this, but I've never seen a trainer scratch a horse because the works were too fast, but I have seen them scratch for dull works. So be that as it may, Pretty Birdie's going to have to break smartly. You just hope, if you like her on top, you're going to have to hope that she breaks better than some of these other fillies to her outside. But nevertheless, she did air by 3 lengths. She put down a 78 buyer, which is second best in the field. But like I say, I'm not really knocking her ability. I'm just knocking that post position, and I'm knocking that last work. So, like I said, at your own risk, she can obviously be in a trifecta. I don't think you're going to make a whole lot of money in this particular race off trifectas. You may off a superfecta, and definitely if you in this race here with the pick 3, or this is the next to last race for you in the late pick 5. But I have to see how I'm going to use Pretty Birdie. Like I said, it won't be on top, but there is a possibility that I use her in some more, intriguing ways other than on top of a horizontal wager, like a pick 3 or a pick 4. So the number 2 filly is Mainstay. Now, Frankie Pennington, if I remember right, Frankie came to Saratoga. If it wasn't in the pandemic year last year of 2020, it was definitely a 2019. And I remember him coming to Saratoga for a particular stake race. I can't remember which stake race it was, but I do, if I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me on this if I am wrong, but I do remember Frankie getting a stake win here at Saratoga. And so obviously he is a very, very capable rider. He's riding at 22% this particular year on the number 2 horse Mainstay, who broke his maiden first time asking at Monmouth on a sloppy track without the riding crop, I might add. But I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you think about Monmouth Park, and even, before these new rules came about or during these new rules that they are having, I can just tell you, I have never been a fan of Monmouth Park, but I will tell you that their runners will come to Saratoga and stick their chests out. They have performed quite well over the last, 15, 20 years when they've come into stakes, when they've brought their fillies into the Schuylerville or their coats and geldings into the Sanford. They have performed admirably, and they are not to be thrown out just because you see the MTH next to in their past performance. It was on a sloppy track. The buyer was 72, which a lot of times is inflated on less than fast surfaces. She's a half sister to last year's juvenile champion filly, Vequist. So, obviously there's talent there. She's a Kentucky bred, and Robert Reed trains. And I know Frankie, like I said, is coming to Saratoga with a lot of confidence. He's won here before. So I would actually put, based on just the post position alone, I would put the 2 Mainstay ahead of Pretty Birdie. If the post positions were switched, I would like Pretty Birdie better. But since Mainstay does draw the 2 hole, and I will basically, stick with the 2 horse Mainstay over Pretty Birdie, this granddaughter of Mineshaft, really, I think, will show up tomorrow. And I think that 7-2 that she is displaying on the morning line will go up. Basically, it will go to maybe about, I would say, 5-1, maybe even 6-1, based on Frankie Pennington and the fact that she's come from Monmouth in her only start. But there are some true to bees horse racing fans who know how